Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Appreciate you all coming back. So, we just left at a point where we are going to further see how Bhagavan can be Samaha. Because Sri Krishna Bhagavan, he doesn't want to leave any stones unturned. So we may not have that question in our minds regarding people who in our perception or who are in general in perception who are not given to all the right things in the world. So with these two shlokas, Bhagavan is going to say about Durachara. The Achara is conduct. Durachara is given to unacceptable conducts. Okay, so we'll do the shloka first. This is shloka number 30 of the 9th chapter. Abhichet sudurachara Bhajate mamananya bhak sadhureva samantavyah samyagvavasito hi sah. So, just the words are api, chet, Sudurachara is one compound word. Bhajate, Mam, Ananya Bhak. So those are the words in the first line. Second line, Sadhuhu eva saha mantavyah samyak vyavasitaha hi saha. The word chet, api chet, right? Chet api. Chet means if. Api chet means even if. Even if sudurachara hai. Achara hai, as I said, conduct. One given to improper conduct. Dura achara hai. Okay. Dushta achara hai. Given to improper conduct. There's even an additional prefix, sudurachara, highly given to improper conduct. Even in that case, if that person ananya bhak mam bhajate, if he is able to worship without the sense of separation, he has somehow discovered Bhagavan, Ishvara, Paramatma. And if he is able to do the worship, Bhagavan says, Saha sadhuhu eva mantavyah. He is to be considered a good person. He saha samyak vyavasitaha asti. Because he has made a decision and he has been growing in his understanding and clarity of Paramatma. Samyak means he has a clear vision. Nishchitaha. Vyavasitaha means nishchitaha. He is clear. His understanding is clear. So, when we talk about this word, sudurachara, as I said, Bhagavan is choosing a word which means that extreme in that spectrum category. Okay. That is Bhagavan Sri Krishna wants to make us expand in our thinking, to be more inclusive in a way. And how to deal with them, how to relate to even those people in terms of devotion. Who are they in terms of devotees? One kid once asked me, and when I go around, I talk to kids also, adults also. So this kid was asking me suddenly, is Bhagavan good to even the bad people? right away the answer, luckily. Yes, Bhagavan is good to even bad people, but the bad people don't know that. Cops are good for they're trying to be good for everybody. But there are people who try to run away from the cops. Okay. Right? Try to escape. Try to be under the radar. So likewise, here Bhagavan says, they may be suduracharaha, means unmindful of others. Means omissions and commissions, as I was saying, it is so common, we end up, getting into that undesirable situation. But this fellow is given to that in a very, he excels in that, of not taking any regards for anything, anybody else and all that. That kind of a person is Suduracharaha. Su is a prefix. Like if somebody has a name Sunayana, means got beautiful eyes, name, for example. Sulakshana. So the word Su is a prefix for Sushtuhu, something good. You use it as an adjective for what you want to describe as good. But Bhagavan is using the word Su as an adjective for Duracharaha. He is good, he is the best. In what? In being the worst. That is Suduracharaha. But he has discovered a devotion for Bhagavan, Paramatma Ishvaraha. So we have to now define, was he Duracharaha before discovering Bhagavan? Was he given to bad conduct before or after, or in and through his devotion to Bhagavan? So what would you say? You have to say, he started like that. That person started because of his own background and upbringing and whatnot as a Durachari. He started like that, and then somehow, because of some satsang, because of some life experience combined with satsangs and all that, he has got an appreciation of Ishvara. Some previous karma also. Puja Swami, you have to reason it out. Why would suddenly someone become so devoted in Ishvara when given to Durachara? If we want a reason, we can say previous karma, past karma, the previous birth. And now, once discovering Ishvara, he may have some habitual way of doing things, that person. That may still, the reminiscence of his Duracharaha might continue. We don't know. So, although his achara is questionable, what happens to him? Because he has got a vision of Paramatma Ishvara, like he has got the vision of Bhagavan Ishvara as I said, not just separate from him, not separate from anybody else also. So, there is no question of him continuing the Durachara in the same way how he started, for sure. So, for that person, Ananya Bhak is the word. Ananya means again, na anya, not separate. Not separate, not just from him. He is not saying Bhagavan is just in me, he is saying Bhagavan is in you also. So that way you are also saved from him. So the content of I, when you say I am so and all that content of I, what really matters, that content is Ishvara Paramatma, without who I cannot even say the word I cannot even think, I cannot even do. Bhagavan has put together this body, mind, senses in such a fascinating way, can accomplish so much things. You bring Bhagavan in and through all your accomplishments. Did you do something to accomplish this human birth? No. Right from there you can see it has been given to us. Things have been very intelligently put together. The body, mind, senses, the circulatory system, the nervous system, and whatnot. So suppose if I come and appreciate you for your intelligence. Wow, you got into this college, great. Man, you must have really worked hard. I want to appreciate your commitment. Where is your brain? Let me see. I'll appreciate that and all that. You don't do that. You appreciate the person. Likewise, this person has discovered the placeholder for that intelligence which is behind everything, that person is now saying, which has been giving me a long rope. Who is saying? The Durachara is thinking, Bhagavan, somehow I got a long rope, and luckily the other end of the rope was in your hands, not in those people to who I have been committing whatnot. So that way, Bhagavan, I have now discovered you in and through all my experiences. I am seeing your one hand. So that kind of a oneness. Arjuna was given the Vishwarupa Darshana with millions of hands. But he said, Bhagavan, take this away from me, but let me have that vision of seeing your one hand in all my experiences. So this is the person who is Ananya Bhak. No Anya hai, not separate. Pujya Swamiji goes to the level of saying that Ishvara Paramatma is also not away from your emotions. Suppose if someone is getting a little upset, frustrated, disappointed, angry, right? So you can even Ishvarize that emotion. If I can say Pujya Swamiji's quote, Ishvarize, the word Ishvarize. How do you do that? One kid asked me to, one person asked me to talk to a kid because he felt that, his kid she's just turning 13 or, teenage, and then she's getting a little upset, mood swings and whatnot and all that. Upon discussing, I found that she's having a problem at the school. The problem is there are others, she has to compete with everybody, and it's a school where, sometimes we think we have solved the problem of schooling here for our kids if we put them in a school where there are a lot of Indians and all that. She is going to a school where there are mostly Asians only. And that is her problem. All competing, rat race and all that. So the problem was, not at home, but a little upset, being a little envious, a little jealous, not getting the attention like others are getting when they are, showing up, their hands up for every question. Me, like that. Some kids are like that. I tell them, take it easy. Okay. So, she is upset about herself not being to handle her jealousy, basically. So first thing, here tell is, it is very common emotion. Jealousy is a very common emotion. Anger is a common emotion. Fear is a common emotion. Frustration, everything, all these are common emotions. Everyone can have that. If you were that kid in that particular school at that age, you would have also had the same reaction. If a Swami was there at that school at that age, when he was not a Swami, the same reaction only. So first thing is, validate the emotions. That itself you are bringing Ishvara right there. Ananya Bhak, I am going to this word. How? To see yourself, making it so relevant for us. Not away from Ishvara. That which is very common, which is samashtihi. Instead of vyashti, instead of individualizing that to start with, people just dismiss that emotion initially. They say, that's very bad, dear. You're not supposed to feel like that. They say like that and try to dismiss the emotions, validating the emotions and saying it is common. and listening. This means what? If you are that person who's listening and doing that, then you are in touch with Ishvara. You are at that point, you are one with Ishvara's order that if there is a cause like that, this is going to be the effect. So, that way once you accept the emotion, then what happens is, then you can look at the causes. And you can address the cause also. Accepting the emotion doesn't mean you don't want to work on the causes. There is a relaxed starting point. It's a common problem. Then, you as a devotee of Bhagavan, you are happy that you could find a cause. Isn't it a great discovery that the parents found out that it is not that she is upset at home because she is a teenager or because she is that and all that. No. Something to do with every day. I told them, just because you're working online, no, not every day is the same. Even when you're working online, doing meetings online and all that, days are not the same. What to talk about this kid every day going to school and meeting so many other kids and all that, right? Everybody will have the problem of wanting the attention. To make up the attention they don't get anywhere else, somewhere else. They will try to make up in the school and all that. And they may find a guinea pig to show that they are better than that and all that. So that way the children also doesn't have the same every day. So you have identified some causes. Very good. We can work on those causes. We can validate the emotion. That's okay. It'll be that I'll also have the same emotion. That validating the emotion itself goes a long way. So that is bringing Ishvara. When there is a cause and there is an effect, that means it is within Ishvara's order. If this is the cause, this will be the effect. And that effect is the way Ishvara is showing you there is something you can work on as far as the cause goes. So that is the way you bring in more and more Ishvara. That is the Ananya Bhag. Fear is also like that. Fear of what? Fear from the sense of failure. Isn't failure so common? If you're only judged by how much you've been successful in your life by getting something, everyone is only going to be fractionally successful. Am I right? So, Puja Swami says, success is how you can expand your capacity of working with realities. Realities are Ishvara. So, realities are realities, but you see the realities are nothing but within the order of Ishvara. You see, I'm not saying you take it like that. I'm not saying from today onwards this is your instruction. No, it's not an instruction. It's not a mandate. You'll start seeing. Once you keep appreciating Ishvara the way we are presenting here. So that is the Ananya Bhak devotee. Ananya, na anyaha. Bhagavan is not away from my emotions. From the emotions of my near and dear ones. So let me give a lending ear. Or when it comes to my own emotions, let me be more relaxed. And then deal with it. Relaxed means not just giving it up, then dealing. There's a big difference between being very subjective and dealing versus being a little objective. Having more information on the problem and then dealing with that. That is why you are able to be cool in situations where you have been there, done that, because you are more objective. So objectivity goes a long way in making you relaxed. And objectivity can happen by bringing Ishvara, starting with how Ishvara is the cause for even this body, mind, senses, and how the intelligence is working. And even if something is out of order, then also you pray to Ishvara, may I see some order. Because your success is, here the Ananyatva is being associated with Ishvara, in and through everything. If you are able to do a prayer saying that I don't understand what's going on, Bhagavan, then also it is yoga only. Vishada yoga. Arjuna cried at the beginning of the battle, even before it started. But he cried to Bhagavan, Paramatma. So that becomes a yoga. So that is how he brought in Ishvara to begin with. So, when you are that Ananya Bhak, when that person is a Durachara, then what happens to him? Sadhuhu yeva saha. Saha means that person. Sadhuhu yeva mantavyaha. He has to be considered, he can be considered as a good person. sadhu. So, considering him as a good person, being more objective towards, being more objective. When you say you consider him as a good person, doesn't mean that you go and give him a hug. You can do that if that person is your boss and if it matters, or at least give him a rose every day or something like that. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, we cannot judge. A person cannot be always judged by, judged as in this category or that category. Bhagavan has not sent us. I am sending you so and so from now on as a judge for the entire creation, entire world. Huh? Bhagavan doesn't say, I will split the world into two categories, what is good and bad, which we have done in a way. You have to study law to be even a lawyer. What to talk about being a judge? So we can be free from that. But that is not the message. The message is the glory of devotion. Look at that. It's not about the person. It's not about your attitude towards the person. It is about the glory of devotion, being that it can even release this person who is a duracharaha, given to bad conduct, in the worst possible way. Even that person can be considered a sadhu if he's got this ananya bhakti. Right? So this is just a, Puja Swamiji is very nice. He is saying this is just a supposition. It is not that, a real situation where you have to deal with somebody like that and all that. It is just in case, if there is such a person who has got this unthinkable combination of some devotion and also some durachara. Durachara because of what I said, where it would have started much earlier and all that. And the reminiscence is still there. But Bhagavan considers him as sadhu. It's hard for us. We are not asking you to be, very suddenly be very kind to him, and you don't have to fake it basically. But Bhagavan is saying, because he is taking Bhagavan's name, then Bhagavan becomes so self-conscious. Someone has taken my name. I should make sure it doesn't go in vain. Bhagavan's name. And Swamiji gives a story for not being judgmental about this. He says the story of, in Mahabharata, there is the story of a person who's a sadhu, who's a saint, and he's getting some special powers. The powers is that he would be able to, if he sees anything, it'll burn. Right? He's seeing some wood or something, it's burning. Ah, what a special power I have. I never thought I had. Like that, he's walking around. Suddenly there's a crane which is dropping some, on his head, some droppings. He looks at the crane with anger. Psh, basma. Become ashes. Then he's going and asking to a woman, some bhavati bhikshandehi, may you feed me? Oh, a woman of the house, please feed me. And she didn't show up for a while because she was busy inside. And she comes out and he looks at her with anger, hoping that he will make her learn a lesson. Nothing happened. Luckily. Okay. She said, oh, what is that look in your face? Do you think I'm like the crane? He got shocked. How did she know that? She's got some special powers, looks like now. Lady of the house, honorable lady, I would like to learn from you. He became very humble right away. I'm too busy to teach you. There's a guru for you waiting there in so and so address, exact address. GPS she gave him. And he goes there, the right address only he goes, and he only finds a butcher there. Sudurachara hai. Poor guy is given to that conduct, chopping meat and all that, whatnot. And then he's waiting. He knew that he has come to the right spot and waiting and all that. He was losing his patience. Then the butcher is looking at him. Did that lady send you? And no cell phone, okay, those days. Did the lady send you? You please wait. And then he's getting his wisdom from that butcher basically. So, Sudurachara, we don't know. The other point I was making is, for God, Bhagavan, it matters. He has to, when someone takes Bhagavan's name, he has to go and, address that person. Like you also, at your homes. Someone calls you, you're one of the kid, out of helplessness. You first go and try to help. Only after that, all the yelling and scolding and whatnot. First you try to resolve the problem for that person. And it is good to, the kids are calling for help and all that. Sometimes when they're very quiet, we don't know what's going on. Right? That's not that nature. So likewise, our nature is to call Bhagavan whenever we are in a desperate situation. Artha Bhakti is also okay. The devotion where you call Bhagavan only when you need is also okay. But Bhagavan will respond right away. Because he's so conscious that somebody is calling his name. And Puja Swami has a story about that also. If you go to these railway stations in India, chai, 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 chai. Okay. Somebody had an idea that, Kumbh Mela, all the whole roads are all jammed. See, it's nice to put that also in the recording. During Kumbh Mela time, this class is going on. So, all roads are blocked. They thought they will take a train. But I heard yesterday there was a stampede in the railway station. Delhi railway station. So anyway, we go to this railway station, chai wala is there. Chai, 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 chai. He is just waiting for you to say what? Chai. That's it. He will come and give you the tea and go. He doesn't even wait you to say, give me a cup of tea and all that, nothing. Chai, you call. Likewise, Bhagavan is there waiting. So that way Bhagavan doesn't really, look at he is not a history sheeter. They have a history sheet of, people who are criminals and all that. Puja Swami also says, nobody is, there's no, people are given to crime. It is just like people are given to begging sometimes. Not that they want to be beggars. Hey, this is a great profession. I'll sign up for this. Nobody wants that profession. Let me take this profession. Nobody signs up for becoming a beggar. Just in that circumstances, they cannot but do that. Likewise, crime is also like that. But one good thing is they cannot continue like that. When you have devotion and dedication, commitment for something else, it is the quality time you are taking away from all your vices and committing for something else. So naturally what happens is, it will only take you one way, more towards your devotion. All the fear and insecurity and all that, because right now Bhagavan is not clear. Here when Bhagavan is in the heart, what Bhagavan is an object of devotion is not clear. And when that is not clear, everything else takes precedence. Devotion is only a namesake, thing like that. This extreme sense of what is liking and disliking and all that here. But then when the object of devotion, in this case Bhagavan, Paramatma, when that clarity is there, when that clarity grows, it is only going to make your devotion so firm, and it will only loosen up your commitment towards, kind of dealing with all those things which are so displeasing and pleasing and whatnot, chasing against what is dharma and all that. So that has to happen. When this growth is there, people are devoted. Pujya Swamiji wants them to be informed devotee by gaining the knowledge of the object of devotion. My topic in University of Notre Dame, the fourth university I spoke last week, was knowing God, loving God. So knowing will make that loving really complete. And this is true for any object where you want to dedicate, devote yourself. Example is when Sadhu Mahatma comes to, old Mahatma comes to your house, you make all Pancha Paksha Paramanna and sweets, but he is saying, Mataji, I have sugar, diabetic, pre-diabetic or whatever. Then you make, what is that, some other dish, lots of ghee in that. Oh, I have cholesterol issues and all that. So you can go like that, but what was missing? Your devotion was there, your dedication was there, your love was there, but the object of your love, the knowledge, complete knowledge was not there. The object of your love is that person. When I say object, I am talking of a grammatical object. That person who you want to take care. In this case, Paramatma. I want to be associated with Paramatma. So Puji Swamiji's whole effort is to make that object of devotion, Paramatma, real for you, tangible for you, in the form of all these different orders and all that. So this person is a Suduracharaha, but he's discovered Paramatma in all these ways. So then automatically everything else will drop. Puja Swamiji's example was this cotton, you have to make it fine and fluffy like that. It comes in bales and then you have to just keep fluffy. When you keep making it fluffy, all the dust in the cotton, they finally settle down. So one process leads to the other process automatically. So that is Puja Swamiji's example. That is how this ego gets dilated or whatever you want to say, to the point that all this durachara doesn't stay and only the expansion in terms of Paramatma in and through all your experiences only takes precedence. So this is where I would like to conclude this particular shloka. We have time for one more shloka and then we'll conclude. So here, the translation for this shloka. So even if someone of highly, this is the 30th shloka of the 9th chapter, even if someone is of highly improper conduct, seeks me without a sense of separation, he is to be considered a good person because he is one whose understanding is clear. And we can take our own example also. In a way, we are all duracharaha, durachari, because what? We want to do so much, we want to do Sandhya Vandan, we want to worship Bhagavan, Surya Bhagavan, because he is giving everything, but we lapse on that. We want to do some other great things and all that, we lapse on that. So we may not be in the extreme category of Durachari, but in our case also, even with all the lapses, our own lapses and all that, Bhagavan is there to, as your own self, as the content of I, Bhagavan is there to basically make us a sadhu. So that is the shloka. This is the shloka number 30. We'll just go for one more shloka. 31st shloka of the 9th chapter. You can say after me, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma Sashvachantim nigacchati Kaunteya pratijanihi Name bhaktah pranashyati. So, Kshipram means quickly. So what happens to that Suduratmanaha mentioned in the previous shloka? Quickly bhavati dharmatma. He quickly becomes the person who is so conscious, aware of what is dharma, what is right in a given situation. Dharmatma. His mind is only thinking of dharma. He will become that kind of a person very soon. Dharmatma. Okay, so Kshipram saha, ataha, thereafter saha, that person, Kshipram, quickly, Dharmatma bhavati, becomes Dharmatma. Okay. Shashvat, what is the use of becoming Dharmatma? He was doing something better, even maybe he was, it was better for him to be what he was. No. Right after that, Sashvat Shantim Nigachyati. Nigachyati means Nishchayana. For sure, certainly, it is given that he will have eternal peace, Shanti, here and now. A peace which is never subject to change, a peace which cannot be broken to pieces. Shantihi. Venkatesh and Damayanti, come here after you pray. Come here. You can join us. Yeah. Sashvat Shantim Nigachyati. Hey Kaunteya, Kunti Putra. Kunti is a son. Kaunteya, Partha, all meaning Kunti's son. Bhagavan had that relationship. You calls Arjuna by the relationship. That means so much love. Hey mera putra, hey mera pautra, like that. Hey my better half, have you told that any time? Okay. So that is what are you calling somebody by that relationship. Kaunteya Pratijanahi, Pratijanahi, may you know for certain, may you know in reality. Bhaktaha na pranashyati. Bhagavan says, Bhaktaha, my devotees are never destroyed, does not get destroyed. That devotee will never get destroyed. That is always Bhagavan's, the nice statement Bhagavan is making. We'll see what Pujya Swamiji says about those statements. So Dharmatma, the person in the previous sloka, was given to improper conduct, but in this sloka, because of his growing clarity. See, Pujya Swamiji again used the word growing clarity. As one clarity grows, it goes. It doesn't happen just, it keeps growing like that. Growing clarity and understanding. And what is understanding? The content of I. When I say I, Bhagavan, that I cannot be separate from you. The content of I cannot be but you. That's a big statement. The content of I. Whatever you say after is different. I am so and so, and all that is. But the content of I, because which I am able to even say I. The satta spurti, the consciousness behind me able to say, I experience, I see that this paper is in front of me, but this paper is creating the thoughts in my mind, okay, the square paper and all that. But to be able to say, I see the paper, that I, that's Purana, knowing I, ever conscious I, Bhagavan, you are that content of that I. In that way, when Ishvara is so clear to that person, and commitment, his commitment of dharma also, to dharma also grows like that. Okay? See, what is the commitment of dharma? Commitment of dharma is not that, oh, okay, now I have discovered Ishvara, I am a devotee of Ishvara, so I should be more aware of what is right and wrong. No, that is not the kind of commitment. The commitment of Ishvara is that Ishvara is the one who is manifest in the form of all this, in the form of the entire creation. So, if I say the spider example, the spider has put out the beautiful web, not the www web, real web. This is more difficult to make than the internet web. And look at the web. It doesn't put the web all over the place. It chooses a place and it only has a certain size. So it is, you cannot see that. You will take few days to recognize there is a web, cow web there. And at the same time it is good enough for the spider to catch the prey. So the web is nothing but the manifestation of the spider's intelligence, the manifestation of the spider's power, Shakti, the manifestation of the spider's capacity to be precise, right? Likewise, Bhagavan has manifested. That is our idea of creation. So, into a scientist, if you go and say the word creation, that is a red flag. He'll run away from you. But he has got an equation saying how energy has manifested into matter. He himself has come up with the equation. So when you say manifestation, that works. See this paper, whatever in the paper he can remove, erase and all that. But this matter called paper he can never destroy. It can only be manifested in a different way. Likewise, Bhagavan has manifested into our entire creation. But that is also, Pujya Swami is making it more tangible. Like I was saying before, I would like to say one more time, by making you appreciate how you can see order within your body, mind, senses, the order of gravity, order of cosmos. So your intelligence is within your body, and when we see so much of intelligence in the creation, the residence place for that intelligence cannot be floating in the air, where space itself is a manifestation of Bhagavan. So where is this intelligence residing? That is Paramatma, that is Ishvara, that is Narayana. So this way Pujya Swamiji is making Ishvara so real to the point that when this person has become Dharmatma, he is not following it like a mandate, order. No. He cannot but be in harmony with this Bhagavan's order. You don't want to be the one putting a spoke in that order. Suppose if someone, not you, but someone meets with an accident and nothing happened, he looks, the car is so bad, and it's a freeway. He also feels bad for all the backup traffic, for example, right? So that is, you're part of the disharmony there. Everything was going in harmony, suddenly you do something, it creates a disharmony. So that way also, you're conscious of you wanting to be in harmony with the order, and that is a Dharmatma. He becomes one. He becomes one with the Ishvara's order, as a part of Ishvara's order. That's why the shloka says, Ayam mehastu Bhagavan, Ayam me Bhagavattaraha in Rudram. After the Rudram, we chant that. Means what? Bhagavan says, my hand is there working, but your hands can do what I would like to accomplish even more. See, only human beings are giving these hands. Not all animals have hands. Human beings, monkeys and elephants, they only have, elephants have the trunk. So there's something you can do with this. Give, do namaskar, pray. All these things you can do. Do homa, for example. Right? Offer flowers. All these things you can do because of the special hands given, Bhagavan has given. So, my point is here, that is being one with harmony with the Ishvara. And that is this person. He has become now Dharmatma. Now would you accept him? Sudurachara has become now Dharmatma. His mind is only, Atma is mind here. His mind is only thinking of Dharma, what is right in a given situation. Okay, because for him Bhagavan is manifest. Then what happens is, there will be eternal peace. Sashvat Shantihi. Doesn't that matter more than anything else? Because, as I said, your mind is here, right here. I can say this paper is in front of me. But more than paper, my eyes are there close to me. More than eyes, my mind is there, so close to me. Then, that is where you want to really be at peace. Right here in the mind. Okay? So not rest in peace. When you're active in peace, you be very active, at the same time be peaceful here, playing all your roles. So in spite of all the thinking, that person, because of his naturally given to Dharma, spontaneously given to Dharma, is not going to have that conflict, clash of values to that level. Because of his devotion, he has been brought to this level. Devotion in the form of appreciating Ishvara for what Ishvara is in reality. That is Pujya Swamiji's emphasis. You are now a devotee. From here onwards, you are an informed devotee. In this, when you appreciate Paramatma like this. So, there is no self-judgment in that person also. Because, even as I said, what will cause you self-judging because of your emotions and whatnot, your reactions and all that. As I was saying, how you can even see some commonality on that and see the cause effect, and even Ishvara is your emotions. by seeing the order between a certain emotion and what could have caused. That is how they put books on psychology. Why? Because they found the cause and effect. There is Ishvara there in the form of a certain cause causing a certain effect. So Bhagavan says, may you be certain, Janihi Arjuna, may you be so certain that Sashvat Shantim. So, Same Bhaktaha na pranashyati, he is not destroyed. Why is he not destroyed? That person is not destroyed because Ishvara is indestructible, and what matters is only Ishvara. And as I said in Bhagavad Gita, the message was, bodies are coming and going, but you are there forever. Right now our orientation is, as the body goes, the person goes. But the orientation here, what is one? You are never destroyed, you are never destructible. Tell me, if you are born on a certain day, say 19 so and so year, so and so month and all that, and then before that, 9 months and 9 days you are in mother's womb. So before that, where were you? You cannot say, I was nowhere, I was not there at all. That you cannot say. You are never destructible. These bodies keep coming and going in so many different forms and all that. So what I am trying to say is, here his understanding of Paramatma is there, nothing else matters. So that way, any kind of so-called destruction also doesn't really affect him. That is what it means by Bhaktahana Pranashyati. An uninformed devotee is never subject to destruction here because of his appreciation of Paramatma. So this is where I would like to conclude this shloka. We have like 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's a very good group. I'm so glad you all came. I'll just read Pujya Swamiji's meaning, and then 5-10 minutes you can think. If you have any questions, we can take up that question. So I'm just going to read the translation from Pujya Swamiji's book. Quickly he becomes one whose mind is in conformity with the dharma and gains eternal peace. May you know for certain, Arjuna, my devotee never gets destroyed. So this concludes the 31st shloka of the 9th chapter. So let us conclude by saying Purnamadaha, and then we'll just also have some question answers. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So the Arti is going to be at around 12:30. So if you have any questions, it's a good time to ask. Usually these sessions are like 2 sessions, lunch, followed by Arti, followed by question answers. But we have taken away that format, especially in the winters. We want you to go home when it is not too dark. So we can take 5-10 minutes. Let's see if you have any questions. Yeah.
I know that there are 3 types of karma, Sanchita.
1 minute. Can you hold on the mic for us so everybody can hear also? Thank you.
Okay. There are 3 kinds of karmas. I know the Sanchit karma, Prarabdha karma. I forget about
Agami karma.
Aga. Can you, very quickly, can you explain the basic, the explanation about all these 3 karmas?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sanchita karma is what we have in limitless amount of karma based on all our past births and what we might have done and what we might have not done. That is our Sanchita karma. And that is Sanchita means it's like a bank of infinite karmas. Then in that Sanchita karma, what happens is a certain portion of the Sanchita karma is taken to give you this form and this place of birth. We don't have control over akara. Your form, being a human form versus an animal form, we didn't choose. Akara is defined by that karma which has been chosen by Bhagavan Ishvara, karma phaladata, to give a certain form. Also it goes with your place where you are born, That is also based on your selected karmas from the sanchita karma. That is called prarabdha karma. Where you are born, in what parents we were born, and our form. Akaraha ayuhu. Ayuhu also is some way determined by prarabdha. Because if you are born in the USA, I call it lifespan. Ayuhu is not the exact date when somebody will, die and all that. Lifespan. In the USA, you have a certain lifespan. In Africa, if you are born, a certain lifespan. If you are a woman, you have a certain lifespan in the US. In India, you have a certain lifespan. There are exceptions are possible. Apamrityuhu is possible. We cannot, exceptions are there, but we are talking in general. That is all determined by your prarabdha karma. And also, then the agami karma is, Bhagavan has also, to the human beings, Bhagavan has given a free will. Free will is there, freedom to choose between right and wrong. Like that person chose from duratma to dharmatma. So the freedom is also there, don't forget that. It's not about all destiny. Destiny is only to, give that form and then where the place you are born. That has some that puts some limitations on you. We don't deny that. But the freedom, don't forget. That is the agami. With that freedom, what you do, that is agamika karma. Right? So these are the three things.
So what I understood so far is the only agami karmas are in our hand. We don't have any, the sanchit that we already have done. The prarabdha karma are like our destiny. The agami karmas are in our hand that we have to, we have to do in the rest of our life.
Yes, good point. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's why the Gita is very special, because it says your agami karma also you have, but you can do, you have the free will, but you can perform, you may not be very doing it all the right way, in spite of your freedom, in spite of your best of your knowledge. So that is why this Gita becomes relevant when you do the offering of the results to Bhagavan Krishna, Bhagavatarpana, Ishwararpana. When you do that, what the agami karma which can be detrimental to the point, it will add up to your bad karma. So that will be taken care of when we cannot do that offering. So that is how agami karma can help you to really come out of any bondage from any sorts of karma by bringing Ishvara. Okay. Raj, please use the mic.
Karma also can be divided into Uttama, Madhyama, Atma. Adama karma, right?
Which one?
Both three of them. Uttama, Madhyama, Adhyama.
In the place of karma, instead of saying Uttama, Madhyama, it's a Prabala karma. Agami karma can be as Uttama karma, Madhyama karma, and Adhama karma. When it comes to Prarabdha karma, there's a Prabala, one that is very strong, that we may not be able to change it. But then somehow the Prarabdha karma can be a little changeable. So when Prarabdha karma, it is Prabala versus Abala or something like that. Yeah. Okay? Did I answer your question? And Sanchita karma is a huge lot. Even if we take Uttama karma and Sanchita karma, it is still a big, infinite. So there's that definition, that categorization is not required in that category because it's infinite, basically. He had his hand raised. Okay, you go ahead, and then we'll, Mahesh, yeah.
So in Vedantic vision,
Yeah.
Ishvara and I are one. So when you say, I offer everything to Ishvara, how would you interpret that within the context of, in the Vedantic vision?
So here, in the contextually here, it is about a devotee who is a karma yogi. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you can give the mic to him. He wants the mic to be passed first, then I'll start the answer. So what I'm trying to say is, it is a karma yogi, one who is given to so much of role-playing activity. So that person, to that person, offering his karma and everything to God. When he's a Vedanti also, suppose if this karma yogi has become a Vedanti, who is, is a realized person, even then, the infrastructure of body, we are talking about Jivan Mukta, who is here and now and who is realized. So for Jivan Mukta, Bhagavan has still, his body, mind, senses are still kicking. and he has got the infrastructure called time, and he has got the infrastructure called space. So in that, what he will do? He will continue to do whatever good karma, including the karma of worship, with the more sense of oneness, more sense of freedom also, right? So oneness is not going to affect that. It is only going to make him more free in executing his prarabdha karma, going back and even doing what he has been doing with more meaningfulness, with more compassion, with more enthusiasm, like that. Did I answer your question? Yeah. Okay. He wanted to ask something. So, to who, the question you are shaking the head as though they still need some clarity in the sense. Yeah. So, who is the Ishvara? The same Ishvara has been worshipping before, but now with the sense of how everything has become from impossible to possible. Right? That, you can still appreciate for Bhagavan for giving him that body, that Ishvara as a separate upadhi, for giving up that body. And with the thing, so that separation is more, as a upachara. It's just upachara. But he has got the time. He has to make some meaning out of the time. All that he has been praising will be even more meaningful and you can do it again also. He might end up doing again, making the best use of his time. Yes, we can agree.
This is kind of an extension of his question.
Yeah.
When you talk about free will, it very much confuses me because in Tamil we say avanentri oranavum asayadu. So like Ishvara, because of Almighty, everything happens. So if I do a good thing or bad thing, it's because of Ishvara's decision, right? So where is my free will comes in? Even if it's snowing, heavy ice, everything, I come here, I think that it's all because of his action. So whatever I do, it's because of Ishvara. So if I do a good karma, bad karma, or things like that, everything belongs to Ishvara, right? So where this free will comes from?
Suppose if we convert this as a prayer,
Yeah.
Hey Bhagavan, where is my free will? It is all yours. Whatever I am doing is within your own planning and execution, all that. Suppose if we convert that as a prayer. So there are two ways. One, you can pray like that, or suppose if the other person who is saying, oh no, I'm totally stifled, I'm so stressed, I don't have any free will, what am I supposed to do? I'm grieving, I'm sorry, and so on, all that. So the choice between praying with this versus getting into a helpless cycle of grief and all that, that choice when you make, you are executing your free will. You can see right out there was a choices. So going back, just to pick up from where you left, going back, the very definition of human being is someone who has a distinguishing feature for human being is he has got something called free will. That is a distinguishing factor. So that being the reality. So now how to place Ishvara now? You can see Ishvara as someone who's making the impossible possible by his infrastructure in the form of all these orders and within the order he has given you that free will to be operative. And that free will also, if you want, you can call it a limited free will, because if you're from a certain place, you have a certain set of values. You start with that, right? If you're, I make a joke that if you're from Gujarat, then dokla or come and that will make you open your eyes for a breakfast. If you're from south of India, dosa. So even in that way, it's a limited free will. Even bhoga also limited. So akara, your form, and ayuhu, lifespan, not life pinpointedly life end, lifespan, and also the bhoga also somewhat limited. It limits your free will. So itself free will there because of the basic definition. You can say limited free will, and you can have Bhagavan as somebody who is making the impossible possible in the form of all these orders. So they're all operating for you, they're orchestrated for you. And with your free will and with your more information, you can do something about it. So likewise, you can, place Ishvara and also go with the basic definition and see where the destiny can work also. You have to go more deep into these two categories.
Yeah, it's sometimes I feel like when I attend classes like this, see, if you have an order, like you finish first grade, second grade, third grade, then 10th college, it makes sense. Sometimes these topics makes me think that, I'm jumping from 10th grade one day and then going back to pre-KG, then again coming to college like that. I don't know how to follow these concepts because every time when I go to Swamiji's picture near dining hall, there is a saying, every time I read it, I try to understand. It says Ishvara is not
understood.
a belief, it has to be understood, right? So when you get into these kind of things, that decision what you said, whether you are in Gujarat or South India, that decision itself made by Ishvara, right?
Ishvara has made the decision possible. Let's put it like that. Just use the word. He has made it possible. So likewise, this is a starting point of expansion. See, when it comes to marketing, they say the devil is in the details. When it comes to Vedanta, the divinity is in the details. So you have to keep adding details and expanding that understanding. Okay? Now, as I said, the Ishvara has made the possibility where you could come today and experience Bhagavan, experience this class, experience prasad and all that, and experience that expansion in your mind happening, what you have been reading every day. So, that is...
Yeah, that's true. I'm appreciative of all those things. I'm not...
No, I'm just saying keep expanding your definition. Okay. Basically, keep expanding and see all the consequences of, the expansion, all that. That is the way. Yeah? You've got a great starting point. You're a devotee. You're doing a great progress. And just this is more information for you to process with the help of our teaching, with the help of the teachers, and you see where you get over time.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else has any questions, or before we had to go to Aarti at 11:30?
Anyone?
Okay. Okay, we'll conclude here. 12:30 is the time we start. Thank you for all the questions and appreciate you all attending here today. We'll stop now here. Om Purnamada. We already did the concluding prayer. We'll just turn around or go closer. A priest will give